A woman pope. Meet a feminist trying to save the Catholic Church. Fulda, Germany. Ulrike Knobe, a 65-year-old lifelong churchgoer, had never thought of himself as a feminist. I was even against the feminists for a long time, she says with a wide gap-toothed smile. And yet here she is, microphone in hand, wearing a giant billboard emblazoned with demands for gender equality. At a rally of mostly gray-haired women singing along at full pelt to protest the music. The protesters hold the signs with slogans such as same dignities, the same right, woman, what are you waiting for? And for a church with a woman. Many carry pink cardboard crosses. Almost everyone is wearing a rainbow mask. One woman dressed as a clown sends a stream of giant bubbles into the air. This demonstration in the German cathedral town of Fulda was organized by Marina 2.0, a Catholic women's movement calling for equality and radical overhaul of the church. The grassroots movement has more than 65 branches across the country. Each aims include the ordination of women or recognition of LGBTQ relationships, the abolition of the compulsory celibacy rules for members of the clergy, and the proper investigations into allegations of sexual violence. It was formed by the handful of women in Münster, northern Germany, 2 years ago in the wake of the sexual abuse scandals that rocked the country and eroded Catholic membership that numbers more than 22 million people. People were very angry, says Angelica Fromm, a 70-year-old Marina 2.0 member of the scandals. And a lot of people have left the church because of this. She is one of the roughly 200 demonstrators who gathered in Fulda last month, dripping around the picturesque town in her mobility scooter, handing out whistles and flyers. It was the third time the group protested here, winding their way around the cobblestone street to the magnificent cathedral, 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 where dozens of bishops from across the country had gathered for the German Bishops' Conference. Throughout the year, throughout the 3-day event, scores of clergymen in distinctive collars pour into the town, much as they've done for centuries. Even the pedestrian crossing here featuring blinking images of bishops. Bishops are among the audience during the Catholic Mass in Fulda during the annual German Bishops' Conference. In the Catholic world, Germany's national flag is one of the richest and the most powerful. It earns more than 6 billion euros, $6.96 billion annually from a church tax of each members and donates millions of dollars in aid globally. But recent scandals, including a 2018 report that found clerics that sexually abused more than 3,600 children between 1946 and 2014, have accelerated the German church's decline, divided its leadership, and sparked the protest movement from lifelong members. The number of Germans quitting the Catholic Church has been rising for decades, but the record 272,771 left in 2019, the year after the publication of the sexual abuse report. Germany is not alone with Catholic churches worldwide, including in the US, Ireland, and Australia, rocked by investigations shedding light on decades-long abuse. In France, a damning report published earlier this month found an estimated 216,000 children were abused by Catholic clergy between 1950 and 2020, accounting for close to 4% of all sexual violence in the country. Many people are turning their backs on Catholicism altogether as a result of these disclosures. But the members of Maria 2.0 are fighting to modernize the church instead, calling for power to be shared equally. Bishop Peter Kohlgraf of the Diocese of Mainz speaks with Angelica Fromm during a Maria 2.0 demonstration. Radical vision. In the Catholic Church, only men can become priests and bishops, and they must remain unmarried and celibate. Maria 2.0 members see this as an outdated structure in drastic need of the full overhaul. There are only men deciding, only men having responsibility, and we want it shared by men and women, says Knob. The female way of organizing and managing the church would be different to what only men do. When asked if the church pope could be a woman, a handful of members nodded in agreement. Yes, they said. Why not? While it is largely a female movement, Maria 2.0 also has some male backers. Many at the Fulda protest were the husband of female demonstrators. Each woman has her own reasons for joining the movement. Some, like Fromm, are long-time campaigners for gender equality in the church. The soft-spoken activist was born in 1951 into a deeply Catholic family in the former communist German Democratic Republic, where religion was repressed. Protesters formed a circle in the cobblestone street outside at the cathedral in Fulda. Her family later fled to the then West Germany. At the age of 20, Fromm married a former priest and had 3 children. The couple are now divorced. Fromm says she nearly lost my faith in the 1970s after hearing stories of women getting pregnant by priests and being forced to travel abroad for abortions. But she continued studying feminist theology and in the 1990s co-founded the group Women's Ordination Worldwide. Now diagnosed with cancer and barely able to walk, Fromm says, I don't think I will live to see change. Others, such as Marchithil Axnell Helford, were inspired to start campaigning later in life. The 58-year-old co-organizer of the Fulda demonstration had a traditional Catholic upbringing. It was only when she became involved in the church again after a high-flying cancer career that she was struck by its deep inequality. I was the first woman in the big management team at European level and really enjoyed this freedom of having kind of equal right, Axel Halford says. Then, when I got older, I started to engage myself in church and I thought it would feel the same, she added with a chuckle. Instead, Axel Halford became fed up with the woman being told she couldn't hold the same positions as men. I am absolutely convinced that if the church wants to survive, they have to change, she says. Matchfield Axel Halford, Wright talks with fellow demonstrator Mitrix Ahur. Maria 1.0. Cathedral. Not all Catholic women take that view. The group Maria 1.0 was formed in 2019 as a counter-movement to Maria 2.0. It says it aims to give Catholic doctrine a voice. We believe that Mary does not need an update, wrote Clara Steinbrecher, the 24-year-old head of Maria 1.0, in an email interview with CNN. Instead, we stand for the original teaching of the Catholic Church, our mother. The group has 3,500 members based mostly in Germany but also spread across Austria and Switzerland, said Steinbrecher, who is studying math and psychology at Catholic University. She said that Maria 2.0's methods, such as boycotting church services, were bewildering, intrusive, and not very Christian, adding that most of the initiative's content is anti-church, since they wanted to see unchangeable beliefs changed. Instead, Steinbrecher said real reforms animate, emanated, emanate from naming real deficiencies, such as the inadequate training of candidates for priesthood. On the issue of sexual abuse, Steinbrecher said the Catholic Church had already done a lot to combat sexual abuse within its ranks, but adds that there is still work to do and the wounds need time to heal. Bishop Mikhail Gagber speaks to the demonstrators gathered outside of the cathedral in Fulda. The woman holds the cardboard cross during a protest. Diverse demonstrators. In Fulda, visiting bishops staying in the town's Baroque palace, each entrance lined with sculptures, shrubs, and vibrantly colored flowers. Outside, there is another eye-catching sight: a massive sculpture of the priest dozing in hammock, suspended by broken crosses, with the word 11 years relentlessly coming to a thumb with cases of abuse. The sculpture is a work of German artist Jacques Tilly, whose oversized caricatures of world leaders, from a baby Donald Trump ripping up climate agreement to the multi-headed Boris Johnson Brexit monster, usually adorned the political parade float. Nearby, campaigners from sexual abuse support groups hand out flyers to passerby and try to get the attention of members of the clergy as they hurry past. Jens Windel, One of the protesters told CNN he was abused by the priest over a 2-year period, beginning when he was 9. The trauma doesn't stop because there is no end to abuse, says Wendell, now 47, squinting into the bright midday sun. The church had not done enough to bring an end to it. Wendell founded the support group for victims of abuse in Hildesheim, northern Germany, and has come to the Fulda Bishops' Conference every year since 2015. Jens Wendel, who was abused by the priest starting at age 9, stands in front of the sculpture of the priest dozing in the hammock, suspended by broken crosses. He is skeptical of Maria 2.0's rhetoric on sexual abuse, fearing that the women were misusing it for their purpose. But Wendell says that while the movement is not connected to sexual abuse, he is broadly supportive for its aims, since he feels that women should be equal with men. Our campaign groups see their cause as more closely aligned with Maria 2.0. Thomas Fetchel is a member of the Hawk support group for homosexuals in the church and has come to Fulda to join the Maria 2.0 rally. The 60-year-old holds a giant rainbow banner alongside his husband, Thomas Harold. They were married in what they jokingly called a forbidden service in 2003 by a renegade priest in Frankfurt who was supportive by their union. The church cannot go on as it is because people are living, says Fossils. They are so far removed from people's lives that they are no longer able to tell people what to do. A bishop passes by Thomas Fessel and his husband Thomas Harold. A crisis of confidence. Though states and church are officially separated in Germany, in reality things are less clear-cut. Religious instruction is part of the state school curriculum, and churches hold seats on countless supervisory boards, ranging from public broadcasting to trade unions. But the church is increasingly regarded as an authoritarian, outdated institution, says Delep Polak, the professor of the sociology of religion at Münster University, and that's also a reason why people leave. The country's church tax, amounting to between 8% and 9% of members' income tax bill, is another deterrent. In late 2019, German Catholic launches the Synodal Path project in an effort to restore confidence in the church. It involves the hundreds of lay members, academics, clergy, and bishops debating what remains taboo subject for many, including lifting celibacy rules and allowing women to play bigger roles in ecclesiastical life. The project due to wrap up in 2023, though its outcomes will not change Catholic doctrine. These debates around modernizing the German church have attracted criticism from the Vatican. However, some of its most senior officials, including Pope Francis, have expressed concerns that the conference could lead to fragmentation of the wider church. From left, Andrea Kever, Mathilde Axnel Herford, Beatrix Ahil, and Ulrike Knob stand in front of the cathedral. Bishops attend the Catholic Mass inside the cathedral in Fulda. The German clerics are definitely more liberal than Catholic priests from Africa or Eastern Europe, said Pollack, adding that they posed a challenge to the Vatican. Earlier this month, Pope Francis launches the 2-year worldwide consultation on the future direction of the Church, a move welcomed by reformists and criticized by conservatives who feels it will undermine the Church's structure. For now, Maria 2.0's demands for equal rights are being discussed as part of the Synodal Path project. Matthias Kopp of German Bishops' Conference spokesman told CNN, asked whether enough has been done to combat sexual abuse within the church. Kopp added, "We are working on it. We did much, and we have to continue in this." Back in Fulda, the demonstrators fold up their banners and pack away their pink cardboard crosses, ready for the next rally. Their battle is far from over.